Okay, it is a new Frabby Farm week. And we are doing fantastic.
I hate my life.
So we're gonna bring you along this week. We'll see what else this week brings for us, because
Probably not a whole lot.
probably not a whole lot. But this will be a little bit more of the behind the scenes of like what actually goes through our minds during the week. Because as of right now, not a whole lot. As of right now, we stay so busy that people have a lot of questions about like why and how we stay so busy and motivated and encouraged, but we don't. To develop a number of locations in your mouth, ears, nose, nails, gastrointestinal. You know, like, okay, that's interesting, blah, blah, blah. If you've sugary foods, dairy, gluten, especially if you've gone cold turkey to eliminate them overnight, they start to die off. Symptoms of candida die-off can emerge within several days or weeks of making your dietary changes or certain supplements / medicine days later. After symptoms start, just within a few weeks, you should notice an increase in energy, focus as well, and relief from them severely.
Or we've just been sick.
Yeah. Eating healthy. We've recently had a lot of comments asking what we actually eat, since we talk a lot about our lifestyle changes and our dietary needs. So I figured I would come on here real quick and go over what that actually entails. So it's kind of hard to explain, but it's less of a diet and more of just awareness of what we're eating. So there are a few things that we focus on. The main thing is making sure that it's naturally grown. So whether it's fruit, vegetables, or meat, it needs to be grown how it was grown in the Garden of Eden. To practically apply this, it's fairly simple. There's a few things that we look out for: where the ingredients are grown, how they're raised, and what other ingredients are hidden in the items I'm eating. So for example, if I want a chocolate cake, I can totally eat that. I just have to make sure that if I buy it, the ingredients are wholesome, or the best bet is just to make it at home with flour that's not enriched, sugars that are completely natural, and chocolate that is very minimally processed and doesn't have added sugars. Another example is meat. I can eat any steak, chicken, pork, any meat that I would like. I just have to be cautious with how it's raised and what it's being fed. To give you another example, I can eat pizza. I just have to make sure it's organic, non-GMO tomatoes for the sauce, and cheese that's made with grass-fed cows. I can also add pretty much any topping I would like, as long as it's, like I said, organic and non-GMO. This makes me sound like an annoying person. Anyways, I'm still learning a lot about the foods we eat and how they've been completely modified and changed from their original purpose that God created them for. I also feel the need to add a disclaimer. I am in no way encouraging you to eat exactly how I eat. Everybody's journey is different and everybody's timeline is different. I am just sharing what I have learned over the last 10 years and what I have discovered about the food that God created for us and how perfectly His original design was created. I'm going to leave you with one more thing, some food for thought, if you don't mind the pun. Trigger warning, I'm going to bring up the Bible. In Acts 10:10, Peter went up on a roof to pray, so he kind of escaped and he was going to go take some time to himself to pray. While he was up there, he became very hungry and wanted something to eat. While the food was being prepared, he fell into a trance. He saw the heaven open up and something like a large sheet coming down, being lowered to the ground by its four corners. In it were all kinds of four-footed creatures and reptiles and birds of the air. Then he heard a voice saying, "Get up, Peter, kill and eat." But Peter said, "By no means, Lord, for I have never eaten anything that is profane or unclean." Then the voice said to him again, a second time, "What God has made clean, you must not call profane." This happened 3 times, and the sheet was suddenly taken up to heaven. Now let's jump back into modern day society, in a culture where they feed you processed foods that have no nutritional value and are continuously encouraging lab-grown meat and calling it good. Factor all that in, and would God tell you to eat what He created? I made broccoli cheddar soup and I wanted to show you guys, because it literally looks like Panera's. It smells like it too. Except for the yellow. It's more of a mild yellow. But that's because I use cheddar cheese and I don't like the dyes in cheddar cheese, so here we are. We're tasting this now to see if it tastes like Panera. You ready? Also Frank made bread. Okay, here we go. Oh, you got a chunky bite. Mm. You know when we make stuff and we're like, ah, delish. But then you have that moment of disappointment when you realize that it tastes exactly like they made it. This is slightly better.
Yep.
But like, I'm like, wow, I really did just spend, not just now, but I really have in the past paid $15 for this, and it was...
For one bowl.
For one bowl. And it was, seriously, for one bowl. And it was $3 worth of broccoli. About $1 worth of carrots. And one onion, which was about $1.50. Onion. And then milk. There was only a quarter cup of milk, right?
Yeah. It was about 15 cents of milk.
15 cents of milk? Mm-hmm. And then flour. Flour's even harder to measure, you know? Because that whole bag was, what, $5? And I used 2 tablespoons or 3 tablespoons. It cost us about $4 to, well, like $4.50 to make it.
Yeah.
Wait, beyond that, $4.50 to make it, but we have an entire pot of it.
Yeah.
So if you've been around here for a little bit, you know how crazy I am and I get random ideas. So I was looking because we have changed everything from synthetic fibers to natural fibers. And then I realized my pillow is filled with polyester fill. So I Googled how much a cotton pillow would cost me, and it's about $100. Anywhere from like $75 to $200 is what we're looking at. So I got this crazy idea to make them. And I bought these little cotton pillowcases that are just regular cotton pillowcases. I have to wash them because I figured that would be a lot of sewing to do. That's just kind of, I don't really have to do it. And it costs just as much if I do it myself. But now I am on the search for cotton batting. So on this episode of Why Buy It When You Can Make It for
$73.42 in craft supplies.
When I can make it for $73.42 in craft supplies. So I'll show you guys what I'm doing. Also eating an orange. Yes. These are all polyfills, 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 polybasics, polyester, 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 polyester. Okay, here's some more natural materials. Natural materials. What are you doing? What are you doing? If we ever want to make a bench. Semi, yeah. Kind of depends on what you're looking for. It depends on how thick you want or how hard you want your pillow too, because look.
I'm tired already.
Good morning. It is a new day for the first time in a long time. It is not snowing, it is not raining, it is just gloomy. Alrighty, now that we have successfully gotten completely covered in sawdust, I thought now would be a good time to work on a project that I thought of. I went to one of my favorite shops that sells stuff that's like biodegradable, sustainable, and all that good jazz, and I saw bamboo straws, and I was like, I literally grew bamboo this year, so why don't I just make a bunch of straws? Duh. So I grabbed a couple of my little bamboo twigs, the smaller ones, and I'm going to try to cut them and see if they work as straws, because that made me very happy. I have my little saw from our woodworking shelf in the library, and I'm going to try to cut these down and see if they work successfully as straws. Am I fully aware that I could cut my table? Yes. I totally did. I should probably get a block for this. Two things, Ralph. Oh, that one is like perfect. I'm about to spend the rest of the day doing this. This is so cool. Look what I made! Oh, perfect timing. I made straws.
You want some water?
Yeah, I don't, well, it's just bamboo. It's not gonna kill me.
Does it work?
Yeah.
Ralph, careful.
Ralphie, you can't just put your, you can't put your jaw right there. This makes me so happy. I love how you trust me that much, Ralph. I don't trust me that much.
What I want to do too is get a bunch of the really thick ones over there and do exactly what you're doing, but leave the wad in there at one end and then bundle them together and tie them together like this and make like a bug house.
Ooh, go get it for me and I'll do that. So we're not only making straws, we're making bug houses too now. I think this is what he's asking for. You know what these would be great for? Spitwad tubes. See what your dream is. Mine is to make random straws. Yours is
Bug houses.
more practical and more conscious of the earth. Mine is to make straws and spitwads. Yours is to make little homes for the cute bugs so that they can live.
They can kill the bad bugs.
Oh yeah.
Because if I get ladybugs in there, they'll eat the aphids and stuff. If I give them free rent, they'll work for me.
Now, we're making, what are they called?
Pan flutes.
Pan flutes. Well, those are the same note. Fail. Straws that I made for drinking my smoothies in the morning. I have some spitwad tubes so you can throw some spitwads. And then we have a bunch of these tubes that are closed on one end and open on the other so we can make some bug houses. Today we're taking a lesson from Ralph and taking some time off to rest.
You don't have to have the blizzard of the century. Some people can eat whatever and be just fine, you know?
I don't think, that's the thing is I don't think so. I think that there's a lot of people that like can eat whatever, quote unquote, whatever. And I think that they feel good, but if you actually did like put them on the journey we've been on for 10 years and had them eat what we've been eating, they would realize over time that that food does make them feel like garbage.
Yeah. I'm just saying that they don't have like the severe health problems that come with it like you do. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
Like they're still able to get pregnant and do, you know, normal people stuff.
Normal people stuff. Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, that was the scripture where Peter had a vision of a sheep coming down from heaven that was filled with unclean animals, and God told him to rise and eat. That vision was basically to prepare him for that moment, because otherwise he would have never been able to accept that Gentiles were being saved without first becoming Jews.
Oh, and then eating whatever they eat.
Yeah, so people try to take that scripture and twist it and just say like, oh, well, it was never actually talking about animals. It's supposed to stop snowing around 2 a.m.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Well, it says 100% chance for the next hour, but then it drops down to 30% chance of snow. And then it just says 30% chance until 2 a.m.
I mean, if you think about the parable of Lazarus and the rich man, even the rich man in hell was aware of what was still happening on earth.
For the family? Mm-hmm. That's true. I didn't think about that. This one's for you. So this one we can coat it thoroughly.
Lovely.
There's yours. Take yours away. Honey, 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 honey. It's still snowing outside. You're taste testing it first, and then I'll taste test it after you.
10 out of 10 would make it good.
They're not supposed to be crunchy, though. Sopapillas are supposed to be soft. Okay, my turn. Here's the sopapillas. I'm gonna do it like they traditionally do in every restaurant I've gotten them at, with honey. I should have not done the powdered sugar. Okay, here we go. See, they're supposed to be fluffy like this. Smell? Smells good. 10 out of 10 smell. Appearance? 10 out of 10 for this specific one. It looks like a beignet. Makes me happy. These are really Mexican beignets. Okay. I just bit my tongue. Mmm. 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 Mmm.
Making animal-free meat.
They're making animal-free meat. And if they can do that for us and they're wasting all their time and energy and money, you think that they could like invent teleportation for food so that if you're watching this, you can literally be like, oh my goodness, I want to taste that. Let me pay $1. And then you click and you pay $1 and then all of a sudden it's like ding ding. And all of a sudden this whole entire plate is just delivered to your house like ding ding, you know?
I feel like there's a wide gulf of application between those two technologies. Like, you're talking about like growing something in a lab versus teleporting matter across time and space instantaneously. Like,
why waste our time and resources on things that are already invented and create a connection for me and my best friends to eat the same thing at the same time? Really good. You want to send me the recipe and I'll add it on here so if they want to make some, they can. Let's give everybody the full ambiance. That's where it's at for sure. We're up early this morning because the snowstorm that we had decided to continue going, and now we're in Snowmageddon.